Did I post the right link? I think I did, right? Let me see. No, I have it. I think we're good. August 15.
Guys, morning. Happy Friday. Spooky Friday. Smash the like button. It's been 2 weeks since we did a live, so let's as much as enjoy the time. It's been fun. Oh man. Now we can barely hear you. That's a good point because my mic is like somewhere there. I haven't recorded shit for like a couple of days. Can you guys hear me now? Good?
Morning, guys.
There you go. Morning,
Good
guys.
morning. Good morning.
8:30.
Welcome in. Look at the quality, Rav. Wow. I
Dude,
mean,
like it's
just
insane, dude. Like, what did you do?
I'm just
Brett,
looking at everything right now. Looking at Rav's stream right now. Rav's stream is incredibly good right now. The quality is really good.
but Brett got more whiter for me.
I don't think I can get more weight.
Um, that's yeah, super.
All right.
Yeah, let's wait for one more minute and then maybe we can get started.
Yeah, guys, welcome in. It's gonna take some time. A lot of stragglers this morning. Everyone's sleeping in after yesterday's session. Yesterday, jam-packed session. A lot of opening bell longs worked. Opening later afternoon shorts worked as well. So it was an interesting session.
Yeah, I used all my mental capital yesterday, so I'm just kind of like, I'm chilling. No, I'm kidding though, but I think there's some value today. If we just gotta get the open right, and I think we'll be good.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday, August 15th. We're halfway through. We are halfway through August. It's an interesting session today because it's not just data. It's also a OPEX day. So we have an options expiration day today, which is going to cause some extra volatility. And we are back at all-time highs again. We're actually at a new all-time high pre-market on the ES chart. And it's interesting because we're at all-time highs here on SPY, but QQQ is actually underneath its all-time highs. And part of the reason why Rav and I are going to talk about this is the fact that healthcare is strong and healthcare is reacting to some news yesterday about some investments from particularly from Buffett, and it's causing the whole sector to move higher in the pre-market session. So that's kind of impacting SPY a little bit, and Q's lagging a few points behind. So anyway, welcome in, everybody. We have 400 likes. 400 viewers, and we have 120 likes, which means we were at very low ratios here. Guys, get the like count up.
Wait, are people really taking the day off or some shit? Why are we only having 400 viewers?
It's gonna go up in a little bit. It's because I think they're all like on my YouTube trying to wait for me to go live. It's gonna take them a minute. They'll realize that we're on this channel.
Okay.
Give them a little bit. Anyway, Rav, I'm gonna let you go over the econ data today.
No, I don't want ecom data.
No, I think you should. All right, fine. So, first of all, 8:33 a.m. We have 500 viewers now. It's a bit better. So let's get started. So today's session is Friday, August the 15th. In today's session, we have some data to watch out for. Okay, so about 3 minutes ago, we had retail sales come out. We also had import-export price, and we had some other routine data. That data as follows. This is the only important thing from today's session in the data this morning at 8:30. We had retail sales month over month, pretty much at expectations, right? It was revised from 0.6 to 0.9. Retail sales 0.5 versus 0.6. Core retail sales 0.3 versus 0.3. So almost everything on the retail sales mark has just met expectations. Beyond that, at New York, Empire State Manufacturing is 11.9 versus negative 1.2. It took me a second. I had to like zoom in for a second to make sure I'm reading that right. So definitely the past few days we've seen some big discrepancies in what the actual data is and the estimates. Either the analysts are very wrong, or these numbers coming in are just way off. Anyway, so Besides that, today's session, we do have 10 o'clock data. We have 10 o'clock data for consumer sentiment. That's all we have for today's session. Getting a view into next week. Next week is very light on the economic side. Okay, we're starting off with August 18th. There is pretty much nothing. The same thing with Tuesday. Wednesday, we have FOMC minutes. And then on Thursday session, we have a big data session, but it's not that big comparatively to this week. So next week is going to be a bit calmer waters in terms of the economic data side. Okay. That being said, Rav, I think we could just jump ahead and get started on charts.
All right. I'm the charts guy. All right. Right now we are on SPY, guys. I will say the one thing though. Okay. If you guys like listened to me yesterday and saw my post, every day that they get a top up. Remember last week when we did that? I think what was earlier this week, Brett? When we get that SPY and we get that big move, we got that right. Was that earlier in the week? I think it was Monday or Tuesday or something like that.
That was Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday, 6:36, 6:37. Literally nailed the bottom on that. Now that day, if you saw my post, I said that we are going to break 640. Going to be a breakout. We're going to break 642 and pivot into 645. Now 645, 646 area, we are getting a pullback, and we didn't even see a pullback to 640 yet. They saved it yesterday, which was the closest that they got after the PPI data was 641.55 and 642 quick climb. Okay, what they're doing is they're giving you signs of weakness after a big initial move, luring more people in thinking this is toppy. Okay, and they failed to close under your trend, they reclaimed trend, and now they're breaking out again. So everyone that shorted here, right? Of course we scalped our shots also, but everyone that shorted here long term, right, is again under pressure. More people are under pressure here. They got covered. So if people have been shorting this past week here, they just reclaimed over that. Okay, so the idea is pretty simple. If shorts are building their position around 645, as long as we're above that, we're bullish. Okay, and if they lose 645, then sellers get some control again. Okay, and you can look for 645, 643 as the next level, and 643 breaks, most likely we're going to drop to 640 to test liquidity there. All right, so my bias going into today's session, above 645 bullish, and if we lose that, maybe we'll think about it. Okay, bearish. But that's about it. It's very simple. I'm just going to use that 645 level as my bias and go from there. All right, for upside squeeze risk and whatnot, we just need to break the 647. If we break that and a lot of names participate, if you guys, Brett mentioned this about healthcare, but you guys can look at this. Tech is pretty much consolidating at the same area as Nvidia, 182. All right, if we clear 184, it's a squeeze, right? Apple very strong these past 2 days. Yesterday the same 231 level I longed. I think Brett also longed that yesterday, the same area. We're still holding 630, 235 breaks, we again to get the next leg higher. All right, there's a lot of names that are still green, and if healthcare can participate combined with financials, we are going to see that breakout maybe even today. All right, now it is a Friday. It is quad witching. Was it quad witching or is it just OPEX?
Just OPEX.
Just OPEX. Okay, so it's just it's OPEX. So we don't know if there's going to be a lot of liquidity or participation. So we'll have to just wait and see. Okay, but for SPY 645, Brad, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I'll add a few things. Go to the 5-minute chart on SPY just so they can see it, or you're in the 4-hour. If you can go to the 5-minute just to flip over to it, and you can get a view as to like look at this, right? Look at the Wednesday's highs and look at the Wednesday's lows. Look at the Thursday's highs. Look at the Thursday's lows. We are just trading in between the ranges of previous sessions, right? And you have to ask yourself as a trader, okay? If we are trading within the range of a previous day session, or even plural previous day sessions, you have to understand that the market's probably not going to be, you're not going to be wrong by a lot, right? If you're trading around previous day highs and previous day lows, you're not going to be wrong by very much. And so the levels that I'm watching today, just like Rab is saying, is a little bit different, but it's basically the same thing, okay? We had our 642.50 demand, and we had our 646 supply. Okay, remember, those are the two big levels. Yesterday's session, you could have longed the 642.50 reclaim, which got you upside the market. And that was something I was watching, but I didn't take it. Then I shorted the highs at 646. And even for myself, I actually got stopped out the first trade I had taken on SPY. It was a small stop, but I ended up getting in and getting the downside move. But the idea basically is, you're not going to be wrong by very much, right? Because if you're just trading in between these session lows and session highs of the previous day, then you just simply keep doing it, right? Because today's session, I think it's going to be about the same thing. If we are just simply within 646 and 642.50, scout the range, right? Look to see what happens off 646. Look to see what happens off 642.50. Those are the big levels. Until we start breaking these ranges, market's going to be a bit consolidated, right? And that's the mindset to have going forward, especially into an OPEC session. Let's watch and wait and see what happens. And I think if you jump over to the ES chart, Rav, and you'll see that on the ES chart, the big level, like you guys are seeing, is simply still at the 6,500 ES, right? So as yesterday we reclaimed demand. So what did we say yesterday pre-market? We talked about pre-market yesterday about not being aggressively short, right? Because we were just pulling back to demand zones. We saw the aggressive PPI downside. I remember we said the PPI downside was crazy. Wow, crazy downside. We said, if we did reclaim the 6460 double ES, we would see upside back in the highs. That happened, right? If you caught the upside back in the highs, congratulations. If you didn't catch the upside, you were stuck shorting the highs. That was sort of what Rav, I think, Rav did, and I did, and I think Mike did the same thing, is we just all shorted the highs yesterday. Granted, it was not sexy trades. These are just small little reversion trades back into the previous day lows and previous day highs. Yeah, exactly. But the idea is we are still ranged, right? The levels are 6,500 ES and 6460 ES. It's a 40-point range in ES. Do you want to mess around in it? I am. I probably will. But be careful, because again, eventually the range is going to break. We don't know when it's going to break. Could it be today? It could be today. But the levels are very clear: 6,500 ES and 6460 ES. Those are the big two levels I have here in the ES. I think Ravi the same levels as well. I see basically the same things.
Yeah. The range has been like what, a couple of days now, and that's not a lot of participation in this range. So it'll be quick and go. I mean, today if they break it, I think they do. Either they break and have a continuation, or break and have a false breakout, either to the downside or upside. So we just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
And this is the thing: we're getting to a point in the market where all these like obvious levels and feel like, oh, it's a reversal's coming, reversal's coming. It's not going to stick for long. So last week we had a range. I believe the range was $10 range from 438 on SPY to 428. I think that was the range. We had, I think maybe 4 or 5 days, 6 days of that same range. And then we broke out and we had another $6-7 range. So this time around, I don't think we'll stay in this range for a long time. We'll just push. But we've got to be careful though. Like I agree with Brett, we got to be careful. And once we get confirmation, we got to get into trades and keep risk tight. If we're wrong, we got to admit we're wrong quickly, and that'll be the key today.
Exactly. Here's the thing: is like, to be honest with you, you have to understand where you have edge as a trader. And like for me, I'll tell you, my edge is different. So my edge is just at levels, right? If I see an edge, if I see a start to revert off a level, I get in. Okay, so today's session, if you find that I'm signaling SPY at 644, okay, at 644 on SPY, it's probably not going to be a good trade, because my levels are 646 and 642, 643. Okay, if you find yourself in the middle, trading in between the midpoint of two different levels, you're making a mistake probably, right? At least for the way I operate, right? That's how the way I operate. So like what Rav is saying is important. You want to trade as close as possible to your levels today, as always, right? Because that's where you're going to have the smallest margin of error. Because again, if there is error, the margin's going to be small. So just keep that in mind. Today's session: 646 SPY, 642.50 SPY, and the ES chart. Rav and I have the same exact levels. I think it's 6,500 ES and at 6460 ES. I think Rav has 6467, but it's basically the same thing. Okay, so it's all the same thing. So what about on Qs, Rav? You got anything on Qs?
Not really. I don't really care about Qs. I don't really watch Qs that much, so I'll let you do it.
It's 576, right? So yesterday's session, again, it was very.
I have levels,
yeah. You also have the same exact level too. You 570, same exact thing I'm talking about. So Rav has 576.50 in his chart, right? You see it. The reason why that chart's so important is look at that candle back in July 30th. You see it? You see what that little? I think it's close to the right of my head. You can see it. 64 or 576.30 to 576.40 is an exact high. That's the level that we bounced off of yesterday's session. Qs is still structuring bullish as long as we are above 576. My bull bear pivot on Qs is simply just 576. If we lose 576, then I think we see downside. But as of now, we are still well above it, right? And that was our sort of mindset yesterday was, hey, if we are above 576, market's bullish. You can still scalp puts into highs. 583, 582 on Qs is still a very big area to look for some short-term rejection plays. But the market's still structuring bullish as long as we are above that 576 level, because that's what makes us, that is still simply the higher low on Qs. So keep that in mind today when you're trading QQQ, okay? As long as we're above 576, we're still bullish. If you want to get crazy, there is still supply above us. There's 583 as supply, 582 is supply. The whole zone is still a big supply zone. But again, we have to see if we can actually break out above it, okay? So that is the QQQ chart. Let's move on. Let's start going over tickers. We can start going over the first one. And Rav, you probably want to go over like Meta or Tesla. I already guess. Yeah. He's in a Tesla.
Yes,
I didn't do a Tesla.
340 reclaim. I want to see what happens there. 340 and 342, right? Tesla again. I actually took a chart yesterday. The 340 failure. I took it on a retest. It was honestly that was like a very more cleaner move than anything I traded yesterday. So it was a very liquid move, and I'm sure a lot of people shorted that. So if you do get a reclaim on this to the upside, I like it there. Considering it's a Friday and that I want to see if they can activate the 350s. The 350 calls will be active if they can clear that 342, 343. Okay. And I don't know if 350 will break and we'll get a run up, but at least we can get a run up to that 350. Okay. Just as a way for market makers to get them active. Okay. We'll see. I don't have any bias heading into the session. If we do get that, we can trade it. Otherwise, we can't. All right. Tesla upside 340 and 342. Those are the two levels I want to see cleared. For downside pivots, I mean 333, right? If we lose this, I can see us going to 330 and even flush going to 327. All right. So 333 is my pivot for the day for Tesla. Above that, it's bullish. Below that, it's bearish. And for a breakout move, we want to see 340 and 342. That's Tesla. Brett, you want anything to add?
No, I really like the idea. I like the fact that it held at 330 yesterday, right? Yeah. So for me, that it bounced off 330 is that, again, you have to look at these names as it's really not bearish until it starts breaking under these structural lows. And right now, the higher low on Tesla is simply just 330. So as long as it's holding 330, it's maintaining a key level. Okay, so like Rav's saying, I think if it reclaims at for me, it's 338. But again, 340 would be even cleaner, right? If it reclaims 340, which would be our Thursday's highs, then look for a continuation, right? Back into 346. That could be a nice trade today's session. Apple, I really like.
I like Apple too. I've been liking Apple for a minute. So look at these two levels. This is the level from 2 days ago when I signaled the trade. Same level yesterday worked, and we are building. We're cooking here. So idea is pretty simple. 231 holds bullish. Flip that bearish for me. That's it.
Super simple. Yesterday, I ended up taking a little bit of a sneaky long in this at 231, and again, these charts are not bearish until they break structure. And sometimes it may look like, oh my God, we're going to break down lower. But if you still see it maintaining levels, it's still bullish. Again, Tesla 231 is a key level. We spoke about yesterday, and today it's still important. As long as 231 is, look at my face getting smaller, Rav, I see it.
As long as 231, comments, dude. That's why
you know why I do that? During the midstream, I always make it smaller, just so we're going over charts. It's much better like this. So 231 is your bull bear pivot. As long as you're above 231, it's bullish. Look for longs out to 31 again today if it's maintaining. If you lose 231, then you can short it. You can look for a move back down to 225. But as of right now, 231 is holding, and we should be looking for upside. Now, here's the thing. Okay, so the stock has bounced twice off 231. It's formed a low of day Wednesday and a low of day Thursday off the same 231. Today's session, even though it is still bullish above 231, the question is, do you still want to be longing demand bounces on a stock that's already bounced the low of day twice off the same level? My answer to you is going to be probably be cautious. So I know I'm kind of flip-flopping around. You're saying long 231, but then you're saying don't long 231. What do you mean by that? What I mean by this is it's still bullish above 231. If it can now what you want to see is you want to see it not test demand anymore. You want to see it reclaim rip higher. You want to see it above 234. I would even argue above 235, really. Above 235 would be our break of our Thursday's highs and our Wednesday's highs. That would be the continuation play you want to see here. When a stock bounces off demand once and twice, it's just consolidating, and yes, it's still finding support at levels, but you want to see it now build and continue. So yes, you can still look for longs up to 31, but be a surgeon there, okay? Look for real confirmation off to 31. If you see it, maybe a little wham-wham under 231, then it's a long entry. but I don't want to be getting in like a rhino at the first tap of that level. I want to be looking for some actual confirmation. If I see it, bam, get in, or look for the clearance of highs. And the clearance of highs above 235, I think is going to be the best possible play here in Apple.
Yeah. I'll be the rhino today. If 234 breaks, I'm getting in. I'll take it on momentum, at least to run up to 235. And honestly,
Yeah.
whether it breaks or not, it doesn't matter. We'll just catch the momentum and make a little and then get out. If it goes,
Yeah.
it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. 231 loses, actually, I think I'll go short.
Rav,
Because
what the hell was that? I just saw
dude, like
that.
they're like getting close to the mic, get close to the mic. I'm like, how can I be more closer to the mic? Just you turn up the volume, man.
I'm going over the Apple chart, and I see Matt, I see Rav over there like molest his, like that was crazy. I just like that was diabolical. Anyway, we gotta move on. We gotta move on to a different chart.
All right, let me go look at my favorite Meta. Guys, like I can't, like this chart looks so good. Like yesterday, if you guys took that ideas at 783, I believe it was good. Let me go to the 5-minute chart. This was the entry here, right? I think it was here or maybe here. Yeah, 782, 783. We got a back to high of day. Now, yesterday was a weak SPY. Okay, we went down, up, and as long as it's ranging, we're not gonna get that big breakout. But if SPY for some reason does break out to the upside, this will be my main watch today. Okay, they are very close to that 800 active. At the very least, they'll run it up just to pump those contracts and then fail it or something like that, right? So this is something I want to keep an eye on. I don't know if it's going to happen, but the idea is pretty simple. As long as they hold this 780, we are bullish. If they lose 780, we are bearish. So today we'll know, right? Either they're going to flip out this 4-hour candle high here, which is 787, and make a push to 792. The moment they break 790s, we're going to get the 800 calls active. Okay? If you don't understand what I mean by that, don't worry about it. Like just like we'll see what happens in the chat when I signal. Stop trolling me in the chat. I'm gonna beat your asses. Why are you laughing? Brett, you want to add anything? But the idea is pretty simple, guys. 780 bullish, 780 lose that, it's bearish. 785 is the pivot, and we need to clear this 787 for continuation. All right. don't mess with me now.
Amazon.
You do it, Amazon. I don't want to do Amazon. It was good yesterday, though.
Did anybody take that gap fill play on Amazon? The equity play we spoke about live. This was possibly one of the best equity plays in a while on this Amazon chart. And you guys heard it on live. We spoke about this on when we spoke it on, I think it was Tuesday or Monday session. It was Monday or Tuesday we spoke about this gap fill level, and this was the play, right? Now here's the thing: if you were long into the gap fill, what has the stock done? The gap is filled. Okay, the gap is filled. So now you know this is when you should be sort of beginning to scale out of your longs. That's what you should be doing, or you should be scaling out of your longs, and not even beginning. You should probably be trailing out of most of them now, right? Because to be honest with you, if I was long Apple at 222, I would have been mostly out at 226, and now almost all out at 232. What you want to be looking for now on Amazon is you want to look for a pullback long. The pullback longs I'd watch out for is going to be 226 here. If I can see a pullback long 226, I'm looking for longs there. I know it's far away, but that's what I'd be watching. The secondary level on Amazon is 230. Okay, so your most obvious level 230, and then your secondary level is 226. There's also a level here. There's levels.
I like 227.
Yeah, I was gonna say 228. 228 as well as what I was watching. There's a lot of levels to watch here at Amazon. But I mean, for me, it's 230, 228, and 226, 227. So, yeah, I mean, at this point, right, your mindset should be scale out, though, right? Let's be logical. If you were long off of a gap fill play and the stock is gap filled, what are you now? Well, you should be out majority, right? Out majority or even fully out. So keep that in mind. Look for pullback longs back at demand. That's just what it is. Okay. What about
this looks squeezy though. This looks squeezy as fuck. It's printing super inversion moves here. Whatever this sell was, what was this earnings? I don't know what it is. They're just like inverting it way too quickly. This could potentially break out if SPY can break out. So I like it. Yes, really liked it yesterday. Today I just don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna trade Amazon. So
Should I trade Amazon today? A little Friday
no,
Amazon
no,
action.
no, no, no. I bar you from trading Amazon on Friday
You
because
guys wanna mess around today in Amazon?
Brett's gonna get stopped out twice, and make it his life's mission to make hard money through Amazon.
I'm gonna be like six trades deep on live on Amazon. No, I'm not gonna do that.
That was me on Nvidia yesterday.
6 trades deep.
Where was that guy when I did Nvidia? I took a 10% loss, and he was like, unimpressive, or like do better or something like that. I was like, dude, I was like, oh.
Oh, he said do better. What?
No, he said something like that, like terrible, terrible. It's like, dude, like he's acting like this is some like taste testing menu, and he's like giving a taste review for everything. Dude, shut the fuck up. So,
That's actually hilarious. That's actually hilarious. I love that, guys. If you see us take a 10% trade today, put in the comments.
You caused that. Know that you caused that. You caused that shit.
No, put in the comments after we sell. Do better.
Do better. This is why I never give dude. I hate it, dude. I hate it, dude. I'm like them. I hate fucking 10% trades. Like, what am I going to do with 10%? Go to Walmart and like buy I don't know, like tissues for wipe my tears? Like, what the fuck?
Oh man. Let's do Microsoft. I think you do better with Microsoft.
No, I don't want to do Microsoft, but it's fine. Well, this is a shit chart, dude. Like, it's nothing to see. Like, it's a scam. It's nothing. It's weak. Honestly, it's weak. If they lose this base, it's gonna drop back down here to this green box. And market's weak, you short this. It's as simple as that. This 520 base has been holding for like so many times. Honestly, this looks like a very nice shot. Lose 520, wait for confirmation, and just short it. Right? Maybe if you want to be a little bit more confirmation, like wait for maybe 519 or something, and then use $1 risk. That's it.
518. 518 is my key level on Microsoft. 518 is a key pivot, right? You have that August 7 lows. And that breakout candle, the earnings candle.
Just gotta time it right. Yeah, if you time it with market selling, this will go sell for a bit, because it's basically the retest of the same level here. This area, that's the 518 he's talking about.
Yeah.
But it's just a $500 stock. If there are no sellers, it's gonna drop $10.
Yeah. PLTR, you gotta do it. You gotta do PLTR.
Okay. For all the PLTR crackheads. Okay, again they're painting a trend break here. Okay, now you guys know the drill. If they invert this 4-hour candle, go long, and 185 you lost a long trigger. For lows, I don't know where liquidity is. So you got to watch the tape and figure out. But this is the most recent 4-hour low here, 178. If it loses 178, potentially you could see a drop back to 172, 173. I don't know. You have to wait for PLTR. PLTR usually market opens, they turn on the machines. So opening volume will dictate what they're gonna do, but it looks like a trend break on the chart, but I wouldn't believe what you just see. Wait for the action to confirm and then take the trade. Yeah, upside 185, and then downside you have this 178. Those are the two levels.
I almost forget the level we spoke about yesterday. I think the level it has to break underneath is 178, because like that's the real structure break for me. If we lose because right now this is not. It's not doing anything yet. Okay, if it loses 178, that's where I think it actually sees more downside. Under 178 is my big bull bear pivot, and if you actually lose 178 with conviction, then it's the 161 pullback. But as of right now, 178 is still holding. So as long as 178 is still holding, it still has a long way to go.
There's a $40 trending move from 150 to 190 here. So it's a $40 trending move. It pulls back $3 or $4. It's nothing. It'll just tap one level of liquidity here and then reverse. So be careful, guys. That's what I'll say. I'm not saying it can't sell. It can easily invert the move, but be careful. Whenever I see like obvious like things like this, I get like super stressed about it.
Right.
And because you guys chart and think it's done, and just because this a level doesn't mean it's all that, you know. What was the other? Oh, Nvidia, dude. We didn't look Nvidia, dude. What the fuck? I've been like a crack trading it this week. Oh my god, Nvidia looks like spy for me now.
I just look at this chart. I'm like,
but this is the thing though. Like I shorted it here, I shorted it here the next day, I shorted it here yesterday, here retest. If they can clear, this is what I was saying. If they can clear 184 somehow, which is not a far away, one candle above these zones, all these guys are getting fucked. Like shots are getting squeezed. Here, here, here. We've spent way too much time in these areas. clear 184, we are almost certainly going to break 185. And whether what happens after that, I don't know. But we are going to push past that. It all depends on SPY today.
Go to the 5-minute chart.
I'm not going to take any trades in between this range as long as we get a breakout, because this is tapped out now. Yesterday, if you guys like, not gonna lie, yesterday I was shorting that 183, 182.50 failures. But if SPY was a little strong at the open at that time, and SPY did push, Nvidia would have been the biggest squeeze move. Because if they trick me into it, they trick a lot of people into it. So you got to be careful today, especially if you're shorting. The only shots I like is if they lose this 180 and 179, something like that.
Yes.
I'm not going to take a break in this range today. So if you're expecting me to signal cute in between, like cute entries for you guys where you get like 3% risk and get 100% reward, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Go to the 5-minute chart on the video though. Just look at that 5-minute chart. If you go to the 5-minute chart, you'll see something very interesting on the 5-minute, and like zoom all the way out if you can, to like a few days of price action. It's just, if you are trading Nvidia, you're just a ping pong player. That's all it is. You're just playing ping pong off lows, ping pong off highs. 180.
Basically SPY these last few days, basically same range. For the long for 643, like short 645, 646. I mean, this is the thing. Last few days, it doesn't have anything to do with your trading skill or anything like that. It's just the fucking range. You buy dips, you go up. You short trips, it goes down. That's it. Simple as that. Once this range breaks, then when the trend actually forms, we'll see how cute we are with entries and everything. Because that's going to be, one side is going to get fucked. Just make sure you're not getting fucked. That's it. It's as simple as that. I don't want to get fucked.
All right. All right. There you go.
I don't want to lose. I don't want to give up any money, giving back any gains to the market. Just be careful, guys. I'm like getting spooked by the more I look at it.
Look at Nvidia. Okay, we said this yesterday too. The market is not doing anything unless Nvidia begins to break this range. You see the tennis court. The tennis court's right in front of you. 184, 180, 180. It's gonna go one direction. Obviously, I'm not giving you any value by saying that. It's gonna go one direction, right? But when it actually begins to break above the high or low, 184 or 179.5, that's where you're gonna get to the real move in the market. The market's ranged. The market's been stuck for the past few days. This range breaks, the market's gonna squeeze in the direction that it breaks. So keep an eye on Nvidia. Nvidia 184, Nvidia 1795. AMD. AMD 180. That's your pivot. That's your level. It's so simple in AMD. AMD is bullish. Okay, a little bit unlike Nvidia, in my opinion. I think AMD is more bullish as long as it holds that 180. So going forward, I mean, here's what you do: you look for longs off 180. If it holds, you go long, and then kind of similar to Apple. It's held demand day 1, day 2, right? Basically held Wednesday, held Thursday. So what do you want to see now in AMD? You want to see it build above highs. So at this point on AMD, I would be looking to take it mostly on momentum, right? Take AMD mostly on momentum above 185. If 185 clears, the highs of Thursday, the highs of Wednesday, then look for longs. So keep an eye on AMD today. Again, it's still bullish. If it loses 180, it's bearish, and you can look for shorts back down lower. Pretty simple chart here on AMD. What do you think about AMD, Rav? Anything to add?
I like AMD step, but I'm just thinking, yeah. I mean, yeah, I like it at 180. It looks pivot. Again, it all depends on market direction. So if you want a real squeeze, you want to break this high here. This 185, I think, is a big trigger on AMD. If they can somehow clear this, I think we'll get another push into 190. The thing is, you're getting into illiquid territory. When you're trading at all-time highs, some advice for you guys. Liquidity is not all there. You think some sellers will be there, they're not going to be there. Most people just going to get squeezed, and longs, they're going to chase, moving their stops. You're not going to get a lot of selling pressure unless we see like failures. Okay? Now, the problem, I should not say not a problem per se. A lot of these names are pivoting up to these kind of levels. If one of them goes, it's going to trigger a move. It's kind of going to have like a domino effect. And flip side, if we lose trend, everything will lose trend. So you got to be really, really careful when reversals are looming. Just make sure you are very disciplined with your stop losses. It's not about winning big. You guys saw my tweet yesterday. It's about losing small. As long as you lose small long term, you'll be fine. Okay. Today pivot, I like that 180, and upside we need 185 on AMD.
Show them intel, Rav. Show them intel. INTC.
You are the INTC guy. You
Show them
do
intel.
INTC. Yeah, I'll show them
Wow.
intel.
Did anybody long INTC with me on? I don't even think we spoke about it on Premarket though, but we did talk about it in the chat. So I longed INTC on Tuesday, or was it Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. I longed INTC at 22. Absolutely humongous move on INTC. I think so. Here's the thing, right? INDC announced a major announced something major yesterday. I'm sure you guys already know what it is. The problem with it is, for first of all, I don't really like it. I'm not a big fan of it. It depends how the deal is structured, but this is still an interesting chart. I'm still going to hold INDC. As long as it holds 24, it's still bullish. This is actually a really nice chart to keep an eye out. 24 is your bull bear pivot here. So as long as we're holding 24, stock is bullish and we can go higher. So I'm a happy camper this morning here on INTC, and we'll see how far this can go. Above 24 is technically a daily breakout, so this can go back into 26.30 and then possibly even 28. So definitely nice.
750, 28. I think it's gonna go there.
I think it's going to go as well. I really don't like the news itself, but the market likes it, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take what I can get.
Who gives a fuck? As long as stock goes up, you just go up with it. That's it. Simple.
Exactly.
Netflix. Someone asked Netflix. I like Netflix. I covered this on my stock Tuesdays also, but we just reclaimed that yesterday. Right. This box here is going to be your pivot 1222. As long as we are holding that, we're bullish. Okay. And then the next level I have is 1227. 1227 and 1222. Keep an eye. Ideally, you want to see a dip and rip of this 1230 level. Okay. 1230 dip and rip. You can take that 1228 and then 1227. If you're a small account, stay away. If you're a big account, you can take it. It does look like a. You can see this. I love these moves. Inversion of this 4-hour structure here. These guys are fucked. You can join the winning team and make some money. Maybe I'll signal this. I just don't want to signal 0 to 80. It's just like annoying. This week's too many signals already. But we'll see.
Yeah.
That's Netflix. I think we can call it, Brett. It's like 807.
Let's call it. Awesome, guys.
Yeah, UNH
great
we
session.
can do Stock Tuesdays, guys. Join my Tuesdays live. We'll talk about UNH then.
Yeah. Great session, guys. Rav, always a pleasure, man. Let's
Yeah, man.
see you guys all in live.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.